Okay, so does that make sense, everybody? So you just use background image URL and then put the URL. It should be an HTTP URL in your in the parameter set. And then if you want to do the cover, oh, apparently I guess you don't need the no repeat for that. You could just do background size cover, and it'll just make you a nice big image. You can use this technique as well with like just another div. So I'll select this one here. Okay, and I can do the same thing. So I can say background image, do my URL, bless you, and then find another cat party GIF. This looks cute. So copy image address, go back here. Okay. And then I would want to give this div like a big width and a height. And then so that's actually the background, repeating background of another element that I've selected. Does that make sense to everyone? Because a background, like you could put a background on anything. Okay? All right, so we just got like a couple more things to get through. So we did position absolute. Okay, let's talk about rotation. So let's say we want to rotate some stuff. We can do that with this transform property here. So the transform rotate. There's a bunch of different types of transforms that you can do. I'm throwing like so much stuff at y'all, so we'll just stop there. Y'all know I get excited. All right, so on this element, I'm going to rotate this image. So I'm going to say the property is going to be transform, and the type of transform I'm going to do is I'm going to do rotate, and then you say how many degrees you would like to rotate it. So and then inside the parameter we can just say like 40 DEG, and you can like kind of rotate it around so that you can get these like really nice rotations. Okay, so now we got some things happening. All right, so we got some borders, we got sizing, we got the background cover. Let's talk about some shadows, and then I think we'll kind of wrap up the tutorial side of this there for the day. Okay, so let's put some shadows on these images. So I'm gonna do a I can do what's called a box shadow. Okay, so on this image here, I'm gonna do a box shadow, and I'm gonna delete this. Nope, that's not what I wanted. Cool. All right, so on this property here, inspect that again. So I will do a box shadow. Okay, so my box shadow, I can control like where I want the box shadow to go and how big I'd like it to be. Okay, so here's my box shadow here. It's kind of showing up a little bit. And I'll make it go the opposite direction by using that, the negative. So I'll do 2 negatives, just kind of make it go the opposite way. And then you can use your arrow keys to kind of control how big it gets, how big the spread is. And then you can say what color you want it to be. Okay, and you could actually put multiple, this is where shit gets crazy and where we're getting into more advanced concepts. You can put multiple box shadows on things, kids, with a comma. Comma, another box shadow. I'll change the color here. Oh, that should be working. Okay, there's a way you can do that. Oh wait, maybe I need to just make it bigger. Yeah! Multiple box shadows! That's so cute. Oh my god. Okay, so just by separating them with a comma. And what this is like your X, your Y, your color, and then you can also add in another property, which would be like a blur. I think you do it this way. What? Yeah. So a little blur moment here. Okay, again, so much stuff. This is meant for you to just play, okay? So lots of different things you can do. Okay, last thing, and I promise this is actually the last thing. I just want to show you how to use some transparency, okay? So there's two different ways. You can just put, like on an image or something, you can actually just put opacity. And opacity works on a scale from 0 to 1. 1 being completely not see-through. I always get confused about opacity and transparency and what it actually means. So, okay. 0 means you can totally see through it. 1 means you can't, so it's totally opaque on 1, it's totally transparent on 0. I got that right? Yeah. Opaque means you can't see through it, right? Okay, thanks, art students. Okay, so like 0.5 is gonna be like half transparent. Okay, so you can put some transparency here. Another way that you can do this, and then I promise I will be done, I'm just gonna put a background color on this element here. Actually, real quick, yeah, I'm gonna put a background color on it just so I can see what I'm doing, and then I'm just gonna give it a width and a height, just so I can see. Okay, so there's a bunch of different color properties. In your worksheet, I have this color picker. This is just a link to Google. If you just Google color picker, it gives you this really nice color picker on page 1 of Google, okay? We are gonna work with RGB color. Those that have taken art and technology, you understand what RGB color means. Those that have not, it's red, green, blue, okay? So you can just choose the color that you would like to work with. Maybe I'll do like an aggressive green. And you can just copy and paste the RGB color, okay? And then instead of just doing your color code, we can come back here and we do what's called RGBA and then a parameter set, okay? That means that we're gonna be denoting the color in RGB, and the A stands for the alpha channel, which is your transparency channel. So I'll copy and paste this in here. All right, so it's changed to green, just moving up so everybody can see. And then you're gonna add a fourth parameter with a comma, and that's gonna be your transparency. So I can say, and it works from 0 to 255, so I can say like 100, maybe. Wait, I might have lied to you. Maybe it works. Yep, it works the same way opacity works. So a 0 to 1, sorry, again, confusing my coding languages. So here's how you can make things transparent, and you can do this with anything that has color. So if you want it to be like really transparent, and what you can do there is you can like start to build up like really cool layers of stuff, okay? So it's RGBA color, it has a parameter set, and then you do red, green, blue, and then a fourth parameter, which is a 0 to a 1. Okay, so 0.5 will be transparent. Okay, so that's how you can get that like interesting layering effect. And then that example is also here. Okay, so I'll put some comments here. So that just means red, green, blue, and then a 0 to 1 is going to be your alpha channel, which will do the transparency. And then again, at this link, this is just like a really handy little color picker. You can also do your hex codes. So for instance, promise this is the last thing. If you want to just do a regular color and you want a really specific color on something, you can actually just use the hex code as well. So you can use, but it has to be a hex. You can also just do your like color codes for now since we're just kind of messing around.